Welcome back, everyone, once again to a new installment of Screenplay Rewind. As we continue Friends and Family Month, I'm Jeff,
And I'm your working man, Ron.
working man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you joined. You joined the
The village people.
likes of us that are chained to a 9 to 5. So how does that feel?
Yeah, just like Dolly Parton talked about in one of her many sermons. No, I'm an 8 to 5er now, Jeff.
Yeah, it was always kind of funny to me how it got kind of like renamed being a 9 to 5, but no one actually works 9 to 5. It's always something weird because they have to incorporate the like lunch breaks, or do people just like originally not get lunch breaks before we had like laws about that? Is that where it originates from?
Probably, if I had to guess.
Because
Probably.
I've never worked a 9 to 5, even though I've worked that type of schedule for a long time now.
Yeah. I had a last time I was job hunting. I said that to a guy at an agency, like a temp to hire agency. Like when we went in and did the interview, and he wanted to know like what kind of job I'm looking for and everything. And if I said I was looking for a 9 to 5 job, you would know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Boy, this guy took that literally, and he was just like, well, there are no 9 to 5 jobs. And like leans back in his chair and starts explaining to me that most jobs are like 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 with like an hour lunch, and just breaking it down. I'm like, have you never listened to any song in your life? They all call it 9 to. It's a general term for just a Monday through Friday job. 9 out of 10 people would understand that, and I know that because he's the one guy that's never understood that.
99 times out of 100, they would know, and he's the one.
He's the one.
Yeah.
He literally folded his hands and leaned back in his chair and just started mansplaining this to me, and I'm just like, hang on. I don't know that you can mansplain to a man, number one. Number two, how do you not know that term, being in the industry you're in?
Just being a person.
Just being a human.
Yeah, like, have you spoken to a human?
Yeah.
That is a term.
It's a term, but...
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it was bizarre.
I never met this person. I'm annoyed at this person, so I can only imagine.
He did end up getting me that job I worked before this one, though. So.
Oh, there you go. So, was it good to have like a routine to go back into at least?
I think I'm pretty miserable right now.
I'm pretty fucking miserable, man.
That seems familiar. So I had no sleep schedule. Literally, like I just went to bed whenever I damn well felt tired enough to. So going to bed in order to wake up for a job, I just kind of lay there and just kind of roll around waiting to go to sleep, and it just doesn't really happen. And then it's
like back when you're trying to get back on the schedule for going back to school, pretty much.
Yeah, and then like I wake up at 5:30, 5:45, get myself ready, and then I go get the kids up by 6 and get them fed and ready, and then I drop them off and I go to work, and then I come home and I'm fucking tired because I've had a bunch of information crammed into my brain, some new, some not. And I'm not used to the routine, because what I'm used to is going to bed whenever I want, but I still only get like 2 or 3, 4 hours of sleep when I wake up, take the kids to school, come back, hang out for like an hour or so, maybe eat something, and then take a nap, and then go pick up the kids. And that is my sleep schedule. I sleep like 3, 4 hours at a time whenever I feel like I want to do it. And now it's just like, my body has rejected waking up, going to bed and waking up at a regular schedule.
And all in one chunk is going to be a big change, because...
Dude, by 4 o'clock on Friday, I was like, I'm going to fall asleep at my station. And I just like got out of my chair and pushed my chair away and just kind of did like the last hour standing, because I was like, I'm going to freaking fall asleep.
Yeah, I feel you. Have you tried melatonin? I usually take like 1 melatonin before bed just to kind of turn my brain off.
Yeah, I need to go back to the other one I was using. I was using a different brand that was more expensive. This brand, I don't know, it's the same dose and everything, but I feel like it keeps me awake more than it puts me in like a weird state of mind where it's like I'm physically tired, but my brain still won't shut off.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's weird. So, and last time I did ZQL, you know how Benadryl will sometimes wire you, but most of the time it'll just put you to sleep. Last
Yeah.
time I tried Benadryl, it was the one time that it was going to wire me. So I was like, I don't want to risk that again. And then,
Just be up all night.
yeah, and ZQL, I didn't notice it do anything last time I tried it. So I don't know.
It's because you're too hopped up on methamphetamine, man. You gotta stop
Picked the wrong day to quit sniffing glue.
that.
Oh, so yeah, it's been interesting. I'll tell you one thing. According to my Apple Watch, like my red ring is getting awful close to closing every day. I'm not able to hang out near a refrigerator or anything. So I predict some weight loss probably in the first year.
There you go.
I don't know. When I'm in work mode, I still apparently, even though it's been 8 years since I worked, I still do that thing where it's like, it ain't time for lunch. I'm not hungry. I'll start getting hungry like around lunch, but I can like not eat breakfast and not really feel hungry until I start getting to lunch. And apparently I still do that. So yeah. And
Yeah,
then I get home
I've
and
always-
I'm fucking starving. Like,
I've just been on a strict always eat breakfast habit ever since I was a little kid because that was something my parents kind of instilled in me. So even to this day, I will usually have like my breakfast usually consists of like a Cliff Bar or something like that. Just as something I have to have in the morning, or I'm not able to function. I have to have something to eat.
don't talk to me until I've had my Cliff Bar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, breakfast used to make me nauseous. If I woke up and ate breakfast, I'd be sick at my stomach for a few hours. What I didn't know then that I know now is that is acid reflux.
Mhm.
That is a symptom of acid reflux. So I've apparently been having that for decades, and I only found out like 5 years ago that that's what that was.
Yeah, sometimes you just like deal with something.
Yeah.
Thinking everyone does. You don't realize you actually have a condition until like much later.
Yeah. It was actually Eddie Pence talking about it, and Ralph was like, you need to go to a doctor. And he's like, no, it's just the way it's always been since I was a kid. And he's like, no, you need to go to a doctor. And then like, I don't know, 18 million listeners called in and wrote emails in, and they're all like, that's acid reflux. Like every listener of the podcast was like, that's acid reflux. And I had Chris get the famotidine or whatever that you take and it lasts like 12 hours. And it just stopped. It just quit.
Yep.
So
Magic.
yeah, basically. So it turns out I didn't need to suffer that my whole life, but I did. So I'm something of a martyr.
yeah.
Everyone should erect statues to me and whatnot. Make a movie on my life. It'll be a boring movie, but we'll cover it.
Yeah. Someone will pick it for Friends and Family Month. Yep. Which we will be continuing today, as we will be discussing Aurora's selection of Wicked. But before we get to our movie coverage, I think we have some comments that Ron will be relaying to us.
We do. The first one was left on the 13th Warrior.
Oh, these scare me, dude. This was like one of the like the comment section was like a fucking battlefield, dude.
Battlefield Earth, would you say?
Oh God.
So be gentle. I feel like whoever left this comment wrote it before they clicked on the video.
Oh,
That's
God.
why I'm not saying their name. Whoever made this a free movie is a hero, is the comment.
Oh.
That's it.
Should I reply back to karma? Should I reply back karma ... Do you think that's inappropriate?
Which is funnier, the ... or actually typing out the words ...
See, individually, they're both strong, but together they're the fucking Infinity Gauntlet, man. It's perfect.
So yeah, I think someone just looked at the thumbnail and the runtime and assumed it was the movie and commented and then clicked away and never went back and deleted their comment.
I was really hoping you'd see like a follow up a couple hours later, just like, man, I was really hoping this upload that's been online for 2 years, that never got taken down from copyright claims. I really thought this was the way I was going to be able to watch Battlefield Earth for free in 2025. I really thought this was my chance.
My time has come.
Although if there ever was going to be a movie that would just be accidentally left online for free on YouTube, it'd be Battlefield Earth, because who the fuck is actually seeking, other than that person, who the fuck is seeking it out to watch it?
Well, this was on 13th Warrior, but...
Oh, it was on 13th Warrior, that's right.
Yep.
We were talking about Battlefield Earth, so it was just like, my brain's got fixated on that. But, yeah, I do still think it's funny. It's like people keep browsing for these fucking free YouTube uploads.
It must exist, and people think we're it. I swear to God, if we ever get like a takedown notice on our account, and it's like, no, you didn't fucking click on the videos. Ugh, I swear to God.
These people, man, it's just like this hasn't been an industry on YouTube for 12 years. Like, where have y'all been?
It must be on YouTube somewhere, but they're not gonna make it the thumbnail and the name of the movie. There's gonna be a different thumbnail, and it's gonna be a coded name. But yeah,
that's insane, dude. Yeah, it blows my mind.
Anyway, that's the first comment. Second comment, and the next one are both on Shutter Island. I'm trying to remember. I have a vague memory of what this is in reference to, but the ever enigmatic executive intern Bobby.
Executive intern producer.
I almost said producer of interns and then stopped. I don't like that. I'm very uncomfortable with that mental image, and I would like to not. Said, wait, fuck the comments. Okay, storm's off. I have a memory of us talking about him causing a storm or something.
I have no memory of this.
I don't know.
I apologize.
You keep doing this, Bobby. You keep doing this, man.
No, I encourage him to continue posting stuff out of context, because I think it's fun. Just not knowing what the fuck he's talking about.
I love
he's
not
clearly
knowing what anyone's talking about. It's my favorite.
He's clearly just listening to it and replying in real time. So he's replying to
live
like
tweeting a podcast.
Bobby just really does not understand that the podcast is not live, and he's like, man, these guys never answer my questions. These guys are dicks.
See, I feel like now I need to write down a note on a piece of paper that says podcast not live, Jeff, episode 123. So when he comments, like, what do you mean this isn't live? I'll be like, I remember now.
he's got that fucking that condition from Memento where he's just forgetting shit, so he has to just tattoo the podcast is not live on his chest so he remembers. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, and then this took a turn. I thought this comment was going to say something else as I was reading it, and then I was disappointed. It says, don't worry, Jeff. This is Bobby. Don't worry, Jeff. You can always talk about another time. And I really thought it was going to say, don't worry, Jeff. You can always find me in the drift. That's what I was really hoping for.
Man. See, that's all the movie was about. Was Justin Hartley's trying to figure out who he was drift compatible with. So what if they're waiting to go see Twilight in the past in another reality? I'm going to go meet them over there.
I still can't
attempt to kidnap them.
I still can't believe the entire plot of Another Time is just Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I forgot about that until you mentioned it, but it is.
It's literally close. Just what Wilson Fisk was doing Into the Spider-Verse.
The difference is that movie had a plot. Big difference.
No, the difference is Spider-Man Noir and Peter B. Parker are in that movie.
The difference is it's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Moving pictures. So yeah, that's all. That'd be all the comments.
That was all the comments. If you have any questions or comments for Ron and myself, you can drop them in the YouTube comment section of whichever upload you happen to be finding us on, or email us at screenplayrewind@gmail.com. I would like to get some emails that aren't just people trying to be our executive intern producers.
Have
and,
you watched my documentary?
Fuck, dude. Maybe we should have watched that documentary.
I guess. You think
Could've
he'd
gotten some more-
stop emailing us or email us more if we did?
He would have gone to the YouTube comments and then just been really confused that it wasn't live, just like Bobby. It's just like, man, these guys just will not
Just
answer my
again
questions.
live tweeting the podcast in the comments.
Yeah, I think we had a couple people. There was like some person that was like wanting us to interview them, and I think there was another person that wanted us to be interviewed for some. I don't fucking remember. Dude. We had so many things that are absolutely either scams or things that made me question how they found us in the first place. Because we have like a decent following on Twitter, but it's nothing crazy. So it's like, man,
I'm pretty sure it's Spotify.
if y'all are finding us, you gotta quit, scraping the bottom of the barrel, please.
I'm pretty sure it's Spotify because we use Anchor to upload, which is free. And if a service if a service is free, then you are the product. So
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that it's Anchor.
Yeah, that makes sense, man.
But
I still get great enjoyment every time I see one of those emails because it's just like, come on, man.
We're close to being able to get some ad revenue on YouTube if we wanted to. We're getting up there.
Yeah, we've had a lot of subscribers in the last couple weeks, especially. I think the Shutter Island one. I wish it was Another Time because to me that's like one of the best recordings we've had was the Another Time one. So yeah, if you listen to us on anything and you enjoy our conversations about any movie you happen to catch us on, like go back and check out the Another Time one if you haven't, because I still think that's one of our better ones. The Shutter Island one also because it goes absolutely off the rails for the last 30 minutes.
I don't even remember at this point. We jumped around too much.
Listen. We were very on point for about an hour, and then we just started laughing about Leo blowing up the car, and then it was just fucking Jover, dude.
I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that. I remember now.
It's so fucking funny. Oh my goodness. But we're not talking about Shutter Island, or I'm actually curious how many episodes in a row Another Time will be mentioned, because I feel like that is now
everyone
just part of
forward.
It's now just part of the DNA and fabric of the podcast is Another Time, because it's just the greatest movie to ever be. Was that movie written? I don't know. I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, I don't think it was written. I think they just ad-libbed it.
Yeah.
And then they stood in a shed for 40 minutes.
It's like, what are we going to talk about? We can have a really cringy conversation about Star Trek versus Star Wars that nobody wants to hear. Let's do it. It's perfect.
Oh, God. And then Captain America's out to the sepia-toned world.
I love that we'll always have the sepia-toned dev channel in the Discord. Just a little memoriam. But we're not here today to talk about Another Time. We are here to talk about Aurora's selection of Wicked, which, spoilers for Wicked, I think came out like last fall. So it's like relatively new for us, because most time we cover shit that's like super old or was, made 20 years ago and then sat on a shelf for 10 years like Another Time. So I just received a text message from Aurora, who was listening to us in all caps, finally, that she gets to hear us talking about the movie. This is record time, because I think Soapy had to listen to us talk about fucking nonsense for 45 minutes.
Apparently
so
not. Apparently he didn't even finish that episode. It was his pick.
Yeah, Soapy was saying he got sick, so he didn't finish it. But it's like, if you're sick, you have nothing else better to do than listen to us. Like, that's not an excuse, my guy.
He got food poisoning off of our podcast? Is that what happened? He's not supposed to lick the phone. Oh, God. Yeah, I was listening to your podcast, but then I got sick. Yeah.
So yeah, again, spoilers for this. I have a feeling this is going to be a duck season, rabbit season kind of podcast, because I got the impression in the green room that you did not like this movie.
No, I almost quit the podcast.
So I was holding out hope that you would actually like this.
Nope.
Because I think the cast is great in this movie, and while I grew up watching The Wizard of Oz, and I really enjoy The Wizard of Oz, I'm not like a diehard fan, so I had never checked out the Broadway play for this. I hadn't really listened to like the soundtrack of it ahead of the movie, so the movie was like my real introduction to Wicked related stuff, and I came away surprised by how much I liked this.
This is up there with probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Really?
I absolutely hated every second of this movie.
Because this screams to be like you, because the way you were talking about, like but before we get into the movie itself, what was making you have like antibodies for this ahead of time? Because you were actively saying like you had no interest in watching it. It like its very existence annoyed you. So like, what made you dislike this ahead of time? Because that part I don't get.
I just don't understand the need. I mean, The Wizard of Oz is there. This feels like making Morbius or something. Like I don't want to watch a thing that doesn't have the people in it. I don't want to watch a Joker movie without a Batman. Like I don't understand. I don't care about the history of the witch. I just don't. And then no one will shut up about it. Like everyone loved the Broadway play, and then they made the movie, and now no one will shut up about the movie. And like I just don't get it. I don't know. The Wizard of Oz, the parts of it I've seen, I don't get either. Like the parts of it that I've seen, it's awful.
I mean, I can kind of understand if you could like, first of all, like didn't see it as like a kid, because I think that's part of it. Is a lot of people have childhood associations with the Wizard of Oz, because like I remember it's like my mother really likes Wizard of Oz, so like when I was a little kid I was watching it, so like I have nostalgia for it. I can watch it now and enjoy it while realizing, like it's
the lady that was over after school care tried to put it on, and we were just like, yeah, fuck this. And then we went and like played cards or something. Like it was, I don't know. It just never held my attention. It just never grabbed me.
I like the original music for it in particular.
Oh no, music from that era kills me. It's so grating. I hate it.
Oh, I really like the original
Wizard
of Oz
soundtrack.
I think it's
so
good.
Much. Nails on a chalkboard.
So it seems like your rooted kind of like disinterest in Wicked stems from the Wizard of Oz itself, pretty much.
Originally, and then I saw the movie, and I think I would watch the Wizard of Oz several times over before I go back to this.
I think Wicked is so much better than Wizard of Oz. They're not even close to me, because
I don't really like either one, but like I don't know, Another Time was such a better movie than Wicked.
You're absolutely insane.
Whoever likes this movie is insane. This movie is.
You're an outlier on this one. I cannot go down that road with you, because I really like this movie. I can't go down that road with you, man. Like that's insane.
This movie is just bad. It's badly written. It's badly acted. The songs are terrible. The graphics are terrible.
You think the songs are terrible?
Oh, the songs are the worst. The songs are the worst part of the whole thing.
The songs are so good in Wicked, dude.
No. They're trying to mimic that same. They're trying to mimic that same era of movies and that same era of Broadway. I just cannot abide. Especially Ariana Grande. Good God. Nails on a chalkboard. She doesn't even have words. She just makes noises. It was fucking bizarre, the choice to just have her screeching through every song.
So part of the thing with her is she was picked specifically because she can reach some of the operatic kind of tones and everything that Kristen Chenoweth did as that character on the Broadway play. So like her casting choice matches really well with what the kind of like fan interpretation of that character's vocal tones is going to be. So that's why she was picked. It's like it seems kind of out of left field for them to choose Ariana Grande, but it's actually pretty accurate for the Broadway play.
I've never heard Ariana Grande's music, but I'm now convinced this is just what she sounds like.
She's a good singer in this. Like she has good songs. Like this is basically just gonna be a non-starter because you went into the movie wanting to hate it, and then you did.
Nope.
So you set up yourself to hate it.
Nope. You always do this to me. Nope. I had zero expectations because I had zero interest.
You had less than zero expectations because you were actively not
Nope.
wanting to watch it.
You
so you went in
you
ready to hate it.
You always try to do this. You always try to explain away why I don't like something, and I'm telling you, no, it's a bad movie.
It's
a
to compare it to
movie.
Another Time is absolutely
Another Time
absurd.
is so much more a sound movie than this
to
one.
compare it to Another Time, like you're failing yourself as a fucking critic. That's insane.
I'm not
absolutely insane to say.
No,
you're on a movie review podcast. You are a critic in this context.
Thank you, Maui.
Reviewing the movie.
No, I think that this movie is badly written, badly performed, and I think that everything, even the cinematography and the graphics across the board, this movie made me want to claw my eyes out the entire time. When it was over, I realized I was clenching my jaw when I could breathe again. Like, it made me it's physically angry.
It's totally fair to dislike it. Like, I understand. I was surprised by how much I liked it, because I was also going into it kind of hesitant just because of the hype that was surrounding it. And what was making me hesitant at all going into it was I'm just usually not that into musicals.
Right.
And this was just one of those things where it's like, if I like The Wizard of Oz, but I'm not a huge fan of it.
The music wouldn't have graded me so bad if they hadn't tried to keep in same rhythm and style of the original movie. This is an updated thing, an updated project. Updated music would have served it a lot better. I cannot stand that era of music and film and stage.
Well, it was like the whole point of the project was to adapt it, so that's why. Like, I think they might have had more, but I believe every single song is from the Broadway play,
right?
So they were adapting it,
right? So, but still, like, I just don't care for that era of stuff that they're trying to get that same sound. And that's not a sound
what
that
about
I like.
what is the sound you're referring to that you just didn't like about it?
That Somewhere Over the Rainbow type song that is just so grating and hard to listen to that it just becomes fucking Quint scratching his nails across the chalkboard to get everyone to shut up.
I don't know. They're two completely different musical genres to me. This versus like the original Wizard of Oz, because I kind of get what you mean. Like, they're kind of homaging.
No, they're not homaging.
Classic.
They're trying to make it so that you can watch one right after the other. They're trying to make it so that they are hearkening back to that style of musical, and I can't with that.
They're completely different to me. I just view like the original music as more classically designed music for that type of musical. The music in Wicked almost reminds me more of like a Hamilton style, like Lin-Manuel Miranda musical, where they're
I don't get that at all.
They're tied back into each other. There's a lot of like energy to them. So I associate it more with.
I didn't find that much
Broadway
energy in them.
Yeah, I've listened to the soundtrack by itself.
For
why? Because it's good.
The face Chris is making right now. She's over at her computer. She hated it about as much as I did. So I know it's not just me.
Because I thought the cast would be what.
And she said, and she likes Wizard of Oz.
I like Wicked so much better than Wizard of Oz, because like my big issue with the Wizard of Oz is I find the moral at the end of the Wizard of Oz like detestable. Of like, your family was gonna let the lady kill your dog, and you're like happy you get to go back home. Like, no, fuck them. Just because they're your family, like if they're gonna be horrible to you, fuck them. That's such like an archaic.
Is Cruella de Vil in the Wizard of Oz?
Like, you don't remember the thing with Gulch like trying to take Toto? That's like the whole point at the beginning of.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I remember something about a scarecrow. I know that Iron Man's in it, but he's all silver, so I guess it's War Machine. There is a guy behind a curtain just passing out gift baskets, and It's about all I remember.
The moral of it is like there's no place like home.
Okay,
and
I remember that.
At the ending of the movie, the moral of the original movie is basically that even though her family was shitty to her and was literally going to give away Toto to the kind of like evil lady in the neighborhood just because she's being an asshole and because they don't want to deal with it, she's like all honky dory to go back home. And she's like, I'll never, want to leave again, and she basically like the family gets like absolved of all the wrongdoing just because they're her family, and that notion actively pisses me off. Like, I hate that notion of like, your family can do no wrong and you should always go back to them regardless. Because like
Coco did that so much better.
Because like to
everybody learned a lesson.
To me, like the moral of the story, if that was like being remade in like a modern way, it's like it's about like the family like you choose, and like her friends are so much nicer to her in Oz than her actual family. So like it always drove me crazy. So I like the theming of Wicked so much better than the Wizard of Oz because it's circled about like it's more like centered around it being an outcast, and the moral to it is like you can find purpose. You can find family in those like who you choose. So it's like reinterpreting it into like a modern lens, which I really appreciated because I've always had that issue with the original movie.
The whole time I was trying to figure out what the point of the movie was because nothing happened. It did the Godzilla thing where nothing happens in this movie all the way up to the very end just before credits. And then I was like, wow, like this was up there to me with Across the Spider-Verse. Like, I'm not even going to bother to see part 2 because that movie was just so dull and bland the whole time. Like, I don't know.
That one also absolutely astounds me because like Across the Spider-Verse is like arguably my favorite Spider-Man movie of any interpretation.
Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse?
Across. I actually like the second one just as much as I like the first one, and I never understood why you disliked the second one.
That one was way too meta, and this one, Wicked felt more like, how can we squeeze more money out of the Wizard of Oz? Let's just film a person walking around for a few hours and assume no one will get mad about watching it. Nothing happened the whole time, and when it did, it was just annoying.
I just don't understand like the concept of like nothing happening, because
watch the movie and you will, all the way up till credits, you'll see that absolutely nothing happened and it was all pointless the whole time.
I don't get that. It's her background of
it's a background that, from what I can tell, that they just made up about 10 minutes before they started shooting.
Like this is drawing back to a Broadway play which was based on a novel. Like there's material they're drawing from. Like
they didn't draw very much from it. I can tell because this movie was a nothing burger, and if it's off the Broadway show, then that's a nothing burger as well.
Yeah, I just like I said, it was just gonna be a duck season, rabbit season, because I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. The songs work for me in a kind of like Lin-Manuel way, where I find the way they tie back into each other interesting, because that's one of the things I like about Hamilton. Is
we were about halfway through it, and I told Chris this may be the first one I don't get through. Like, I thought I was gonna have to pull the ripcord.
You didn't even like Goldblum? You didn't like Goldblum or Cynthia Erivo?
There was no point in having Jeff Goldblum or Michelle Yeoh in this movie.
I think Goldblum is such like a good choice for the Wizard of Oz, because I like
if they had done something with him.
He's a good choice for it, because I like the kind of take on, this guy's obviously an idiot, but Jeff Goldblum is so charismatic that you would believe him in his bullshit just because he's so charismatic. So I actually really liked the pick.
Yeah, no, I liked the pick, but they didn't do anything with him. They didn't even use him hardly. Well,
I believe that's mostly setting him up for the second one, because that is like something too. Like, this was originally, like, they were kind of coy about this being a part 1 and a part 2. I think people that
it was it was a bait and switch. No one knew.
I think what I was gonna
people
say
walked out of that
is,
movie like, what do you mean part 1? I just spent 3 hours in the auditorium.
it's one of those things where they're kind of like playing part 1s and part 2s like close to the vest because of how much of a shit show they became for a few years, like with like Hunger Games and Twilight and shit, and like people have a bad reaction to fucking seeing like part 1 and part 2.
Yeah,
but I do think like with Goldblum, it's specifically setting him up to where they're gonna have him be more of a kind of focal point in the second one.
Well, that's good for him. I won't be there.
I really thought the cast might, even the Cynthia Erivo, because I think Cynthia Erivo is amazing in this movie.
They painted her green and then did nothing
You
with
cannot
her.
deny Cynthia Erivo is a fantastic singer. Like, she's incredible.
I guess the songs she was singing
Oh,
weren't
come on,
good,
man.
so it was
like,
hard to tell.
She's so good. Like, you cannot deny like how talented she is. Like,
I mean,
we even heard her in fucking Bad Times at the El Royale.
God,
like,
she's amazing in that. But
like,
in this,
I love
it's
her in
just,
this.
ugh. Did you notice also, by the way, that when they're just talking, when they're just conversing, their lips are in sync with the words, but when they're singing, the lip syncing is completely out? It's about not quite half a second, maybe like a third of a second. Just enough to be annoying.
They were singing like on set, like not all of it is reinserted like ADR.
No,
that's probably part of it.
I understand that, but
yeah,
they still go in and do things. That's not just the raw footage of them singing. For some reason, they got the sync. The sync is out. If you watch it, I thought it was my stream at first. I watched it on Apple TV, but then I started noticing that no. Anytime we're singing, it's out. And anytime we're just standing around talking, because that's all that happens in this movie and nothing interesting happens, they were totally in sync. So
I haven't picked up. I'm very, very susceptible to noticing that. I never noticed.
Yeah, next time you watch it, look for it because it's awful. The worst one was when they got to the big wizard city. And everyone's singing the song about the wizard's story, I guess recapping James Franco's movie. And everyone, there's not a single person, not even Elsa, Idina Menzel. She's not even in sync with her voice. Which I thought it was cool that she popped up, but
yeah, they had her and Chenoweth in because they were the original Broadway cast.
I didn't know the other lady.
Yeah, that was Glinda and Elphaba in the original Broadway cast. That's why they had them in there.
I knew Abdul Kazim or whatever John Travolta called her. Do you remember that, by the way?
I forgot about it, but I vaguely remember you telling me about it at some point.
It was fucking bizarre. Idina Menzel, Abdul Kazim or something is what he called her. And she walked out like, huh? But yeah, absolutely nothing happened in this movie. And the green screening is up there with some of the worst. But I think green screening in general is just getting lazy now. Because even the last few Marvel movies...
most of this is not green screen, by the way. Most of it is a practical set.
The times it is, it's obvious.
Oh, I think part of the problem is like their set is so good because they design like the entire school, they design like the Munchkin Land stuff, like so like their practical sets are so good that I could see it kind of like standing out when because they do start to use more green screen like in the final like third act shit.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I have a question. Is the actual name of the school Shiz?
Yeah. I guess. I'm assuming it's pulled directly from the original material. I haven't seen the original show or read the book, but I'm assuming this is all like pretty
laughed
faithful
out
to it.
loud when I figured out they were saying Shiz. And then I saw it written on the school. I was like, really?
Yeah, I just think it's just like a weird thing there because like the Wizard of Oz just in general is a property that does the little like weird bits of
Does the Wizard of
dialogue.
Oz make up words or say words
the Wizard
weird?
of Oz I don't think the Wizard of Oz has as many uses of like the like specific language because they don't have as much time spent like in Oz and like a school like this. It's mostly just them walking the yellow brick road in the middle of the woods. So I don't think they have as many. But I do think that was I do think that was like a thing that was written into the original story.
What it was making me think of was Glass Onion at the end when Daniel Craig's like, I finally figured it out. You're an idiot. When Edward Norton kept mispronouncing
making
words
up shit the whole time.
and he's just making everything up, and everyone was just eating it up because they just all assumed he was super smart. Every time they mispronounced something, all I could think of was Daniel Craig in Glass Onion. I think that movie has forever ruined me on that trope of this is a weird fantastical land, so we talk funny. Because there was something the other day the kids were watching that did that. And all I could think was Daniel Craig, like, I figured it out. You're an idiot. Like, I need to
watch that again.
I was gonna say we haven't had Glass Onion on here yet, I don't think.
I was gonna pick it eventually because they have the third one coming out soon.
Yeah.
And I want to cover all of them because
I didn't like it nearly as much as Knives Out, but when that movie hits, it hits hard. It's good.
I think we'll like it better on rewatch.
I think we might too. I think
we'll be going.
Usually in my first view on something that high that's following something that good, I'm usually not as into it as I am the second time, and I watch it for itself.
I couldn't help but be really hyped for it because of how much I love Knives Out. So knowing I'm removing myself from my own hype a bit, I think I'll like it better.
Yeah,
because it is a good movie. It is a good movie.
Yeah, I agree. It's just after Knives Out, I was just like, man. But
it's strong though. It's just like when you're following up one of the 5 best movies of the past 20 years, like it's pretty tough.
The man lives on a clue board. But yeah.
Also the cast was very good. Like the cast is strong in Glass Onion.
Oh god, dude, fucking John Batista. Just everything with John Batista. Not John Batista. What's his name? Drax. Who's Drax? What's his name?
Fucking Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah,
Dave Bautista. And I was close. Anything with Dave Bautista in that movie. Oh god, dude. But
yeah, I almost like question how like much of a deep dive we should do with the movie review because it's just gonna be duck season, rabbit season.
Well, I don't understand anything that happened or the point of anything. There was some animals that talk that shouldn't, I guess. And does the Wizard of Oz, is there a prince? Is there a royal family? Because that was new to me.
What do you mean?
Isn't Fiyero a prince?
He's like a prince from like a different like kingdom thing. So there are like the Wizard of Oz is actually like a really dense kind of universe.
Really?
Like they've had there's an original book series. I think the original movie is just the first book.
I didn't know.
But he wrote like
series.
a whole. He wrote an entire series of books, and they have had follow-ups because like the Wicked Broadway thing and this are based off of an Elphaba novel that was written in like the 80s or 90s, I believe, which was a continuation of it, which was kind of I believe pulling a lot of original material, but then expanding on it because I don't think I don't think she was technically named like Elphaba until that follow-up novel happened. I don't think she ever actually was named in the original material. So this is mostly drawn off of that follow-up novel. As far as like the royalty, I think that could also be like something they're expanding from the original novels, but I don't know.
Yeah, I am not a fan of Mean Girls or Legally Blonde, and I feel like most of this movie was trying to be both of those smashed together. And I can't. And I was not expecting to go into this and just watch some high school drama. And I don't know. There's nothing about this that appealed to me.
Yeah, it was a bummer because I actually thought just because of the cast with like Michelle Yeoh and
Goldblum. The bummer was
and
Thursday night when I was trying to get through this and realized it was 3 hours almost. I was like, oh no.
That's so weird. Like this movie,
I almost
like,
pulled
does
the
not feel like that
ripcord right there.
This when I watched this in the theater for the first time, it felt like an hour and a half to me. It is just a breezy movie for me personally.
We were about
I
an
enjoy...
hour into it, and I was like, we have to be approaching the finish line, right? Because it felt like it had been forever. And I saw we had another hour and 40 minutes. And I was like, Chris, this movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes. And she was like, no. And I was like, yep. Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad time by all.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Let's just go bowling.
Yeah, I really fucking like it, and I'm excited for the second one. I don't know what to tell you. It just
They're gonna kill that poor witch.
I was a bit hesitant going in, just because of the hype surrounding it. I totally get that. There have been times where a movie has come out that is just like it reaches like terminal velocity with the hype, and I can't like Avatar was one for me. I can't fucking abide it. The dude does not abide.
The dude does not abide.
Yeah, it does not abide Avatar. But yeah, it just worked for me. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it did not. The worst part of the whole thing is Ariana Grande. I hate the way she's acting. I hate her voice. The singing.
But
a
lot of what you dislike about her performance is specific, and her actually doing a good job of continuing that character, because that is a lot of
wish she
inspiration
had done a bad
she's drawing
job
from.
That
I was surprised because I also typically do not like her. I was surprised by how much I liked her.
This is the first time I didn't even know what she looked like until now. This is the first time I've ever seen her, and like all I knew about her is that she licks donuts and she's a complete bitch to everyone that works for her. Outside of those two things, I knew absolutely nothing about her. But
so to be fair to her, it does seem like she's gotten better about that over time as she's gotten older, because she was by all accounts a absolute fucking psycho nightmare in the past.
From what I understand, she still is, because like a month ago she pulled some shit.
Yeah, I mean, but she is a lot. I think she has gotten a lot better than she was in the past, because Cynthia Erivo and her are like, I think actually like buds in real life now, and from what I've seen in like YouTube interviews and stuff, like I think she's probably still a psycho to some extent, because just how insane she was in the past. But I do think she's gotten a bit better over time. But yeah, I could see that. The thing with the animals is also a continuation, because the Cowardly Lion is a talking lion.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
You just thought he was a dude?
I just thought he was a dude that liked to dress up as a lion. I just thought he was a furry. I had no idea.
I really think I think I misinformed you when you asked if you needed to have seen the original Wizard of Oz to follow this, because if you didn't even realize he was meant to be a talking animal, I can see that being problematic.
He's on two legs. He's walking around carrying his tail in his hand.
That is just a kind of like cheeky thing they did, because it was made in what, like fucking 1938? Like when was that fucking movie made? Like
I don't know, but it was not fun to watch. The few minutes of it I've seen.
So that's what the talking animal stuff is a continuation of, though. They're like expanding upon that idea.
Yeah, I had no idea, because when they were doing the talking animal stuff, I was like, are there talking animals in the Wizard of Oz? And
that's so funny. You didn't realize the Cowardly Lion was a talking animal.
And that was the first thing Chris said. She was like, the lion. I'm like, well, no, the lion was just a guy that likes to dress as a lion. Because
no, he's a lion.
That's why he just walks around all the time dressed as a lion. Like it's clearly a dude in a bad lion costume, like from Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
So
which I find kind of charming now, because it's like literally that
type
that's
of
what
stuff,
you do in
though,
place of
before anyone.
CG.
This will be the one video that we do get comments on, and I just want to say that a lot of the shit that I am laughing at the original Wizard of Oz for is shit you never would have seen or noticed, because they have digitally remastered that and done so many shit to it now that it looks nothing like it originally did. And that graininess of the film they use and stuff, they were counting on to hide a lot of bullshit in that movie. And now we've cleaned it all up and AI restored it, and now it's the wrong format now, I think, even. But
well, yeah, because I think it was originally a smaller aspect ratio.
Yeah,
and then they expanded it at one point.
Okay, I have a question for you while we're on this topic. How do you feel about them putting it on the big ball sphere thing in Las Vegas? Have you heard about that?
I have not. You'll have to elaborate. I have not heard about this.
So the rift right now is that they are AI generating the missing portions of the screen. Because I didn't know this, but apparently inside you can go inside the sphere thing, and it puts a thing, whatever you're watching, or 360 degrees around you. Because I've only ever seen the pictures of it from the outside, or they just have a big version of whatever's inside playing on the outside. But apparently it generates 360 degrees around you. And in order to put the Wizard of Oz in there, they're having to AI generate the missing sections of screen. And everyone has their panties in a twist over it because they're AI generating something in what's for some reason considered a classic. But what they're doing is generating backgrounds and background characters that were not there, that will have no speaking parts and no songs and never be the center of attention. And it's literally just to convert it to fit the format of the screen is all it is. They're not changing anything about what is happening in the story. They're not changing the characters in the story. They're not changing the voices. They're not doing anything. It's the original movie. They're just adding stuff on the sides of it to make it wrap around. And
I've seen that done on like there have been like YouTube videos and like TikToks of where they've expanded like classic Disney animation.
Now everyone is upset that they're using AI to touch a classic film, and this, we're gonna go to war over this or something. And I'm kind of the opinion you're changing the format. You're not changing the movie. You haven't done anything to the art. Like the art is still there. So it was. I think it's okay. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't absolutely hate it, but I'm also just like,
if you're just generating the stuff to finish wrapping it around, I'm not looking there anyway. It's not a format that was designed to be around me. I'm going to be looking in the first half of the screen. You're just filling in the blank spots behind me.
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to come out looking like that lady that restored that painting of Jesus, and it looks like the guy from The Scream. Like,
yeah.
It's not like they're doing anything. I mean, I don't know. To me, they should have been in an uproar than the first few times they digitally remastered it and did all kinds of things and made it widescreen. And they've never heard anyone yell about that. But someone used the word AI or AI generate.
Yeah, that's a
hot button issue. So
I also understand the mindset of all uses of AI can just fuck right off if you just I get that too because of what people are wanting to do with it. Like, did you hear about the Ghibli art thing? Did you hear about this?
No.
This was a big thing like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I forget which AI bot released like a new version of their Chat GPT style thing, right? That is a more advanced version. People were, for the period of about 24 hours until they took off this feature as a usable thing, were able to type in a prompt to receive a perfect Ghibli-like version of an image they had, or they could literally just like paste in.
Was this like Midjourney or
attach
something?
They could I forget which one it was, but they could like attach a copy of like a family photo and say like turn this into Ghibli style. And it looked like it was made by Ghibli themselves. It was so accurate to it, and everyone lost their minds, which I get because they're literally ripping off the studio's like whole art style. And it was so accurate, it was scary. Miyazaki, I think, even commented on it, on how fucked up it was. Like, it became such a big news story. So I also am sympathetic to the mindset of we just need to kind of take a stand and just say all uses of this, if it involves potentially taking away work from artists or like that, I'm more okay with the Wizard of Oz thing if it is an official production of it, like it's officially licensed. I'm assuming if they're able to have the original version as the centerpiece of it, I'm more okay with that and then expanding on it with AI. But I also hate the idea of you being able to just rip off this company's entire art style for your family photo anytime you want because of a fucking chat bot.
That's also just that's the difference in someone picking up a hammer and using it to build something versus just throwing it through a window, right? Like it's a tool, and if you don't use it properly, or for depending on how you use it, it can be bad. And I don't know. I think AI is fine as long as it is used correctly. I don't think it should replace people's
That's
jobs
the problem.
or anything
That's
like
the problem.
that.
Is everyone who's in an executive role is using it as much as they can
Right.
to.
But the people that are
not
in
pay
creative
artists.
roles that use it in like video games and movies and stuff, they use it creatively, and it saves them time and energy, and they're looking at the product and making things fit and changing things that it generates, and they're using it as a time save, not replacing the art. You still have the artist working with it. So
That's not always the way it's implemented.
it's not.
There's a
but
lot of people out there that are. I understand just taking a stance on fuck every use of it just to protect artists in general, because if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile with it, as they've proven so far. Like,
yeah,
it's very, very slippery slope territory for that. So I get people being mad, but I also am more okay with that than
it was
like the Ghibli
it was
thing. You should,
ChatGPT.
yeah, you should look more into the Ghibli thing, and you should look up some of the images that came out of it, because it is astounding how accurate they were as far as replicating that entire style. Which means you could have used that. You could be using that engine to make an entire Ghibli movie frame by frame, in their exact art style, which is crazy.
Yeah, but it's not just ChatGPT. You could do that with Midjourney and stuff too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that you should look up those images, because it is pretty fucking nuts how accurate it was.
Someone used it to recreate that meme of the dude walking with his girlfriend, but he's turning back and looking at the girl that walked by, and it's all in the Studio Ghibli style.
Yeah,
it's kind of amazing. That's almost worth it.
some of them are pretty wholesome. Like someone took like an image of their dog and were like, Ghiblify this, and it's pretty adorable in that style. But it's also just like, yeah, you are like kind of ripping off their entire business model and company. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of fucked up.
I think that's just bad people doing bad things. I don't think that's AI's fault. I think that's just people using AI, making it do things.
Yeah, it's just a slippery slope,
but yeah, Wicked. Am I right? It's a wicked bad time.
It's a fantastic movie, so go watch it.
Yeah, whatever you do, avoid this movie at all costs. Cannot recommend.
That sucks that both of you guys didn't like it.
Bad movie, bad. Do not watch.
Like it. Crazy talk. What's Bobby picking for us next time?
Real quick, what do I have to do to get a credit in a movie of Wolf Doctor?
Wolf. Oh, is that like the at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah. Also, I thought that was a midwife, but apparently it's a wolf doctor, not a wolf midwife. Yeah. Not a midwolf. Why was it not midwolf?
Midwolf is pretty good.
This is why this movie is bad, because it's not midwolf, it's wolf doctor.
You said wolf doctor, and my brain
went to bad wolf.
It went to bad wolf. Yeah, just as a combination of the terms that you at play.
Yeah. This Jenna Boyd lady looked real familiar when I looked her up as the voice of the wolf. I have no idea. I've never seen anything she's in except this movie, and she's a wolf. Mm-hmm. So I don't. It doesn't help me. But yeah. Let's see. Bobby picked a movie that I was not looking forward to at all, but it cannot be as bad as the one we just watched. So I know I'm kind of looking forward to it now a little bit. I don't know. I just had this argument. What is crazy? Bobby needs to stop fucking using my phone to spy on me, because I just had a Will Ferrell conversation with the lady training me at work. She absolutely loves that man, and I can't fucking stand anything he's done hardly. And
I thought you liked old school.
I love old school, and I like once he discovered the character of Ron Burgundy and just started making movie after movie after movie doing a variation on that character. I was just like, I can't anymore.
So was Anchorman like the beginning of the end? You just
It
don't
was
like
the beginning of
Anchorman?
the end, but I didn't.
What about Talladega Nights? Did you like Talladega Nights? Because I love Talladega Nights.
Anchorman was the beginning of the end, but I didn't recognize that until Talladega Nights. And after
Oh, you don't like Talladega Nights?
Talladega
I love
Nights,
Talladega
I
Nights.
just jumped ship. I was like, I can't.
I love Talladega Nights. I am so paralyzed.
Yeah, I can't. I used to think I didn't like John C. Reilly either, but then he was in Skull Island, and he's fucking awesome.
John C. Reilly is amazing.
I've only ever seen him in the bullshit Will Ferrell stuff.
When he's actually doing more dramatic shit, he's one of those dudes where it's like it's true what they say, you know, like how comedy is the most difficult thing to do. So like so many comedic actors that just get pigeonholed into doing comedic shit actually could be doing great drama work. Like he can, like he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he was great in Kong Skull Island because remember he was the guy trapped on Skull Island since World War II, so he'd been there like 30 years or something.
I love him in that. He's great.
But yeah, Bobby picked Holmes and Watson.
The fuck is that?
It is a Sherlock Holmes movie.
Oh, is that the one he did with John C. Reilly? Is it that one?
Yeah, Will Ferrell is Sherlock Holmes. John C. Reilly is Dr. Watson. Rebecca Hall is in it. Ray Fiennes. I swear to God, in the commercial I saw Doc Ock. This
movie was only made in 2018.
Yes.
I would have imagined this was made like 25 years ago.
Yeah, like around Step Brothers or something. But
Jesus,
no.
where am I gonna have to fucking rent this on?
It is rentable everywhere. That bad movies are available. It is also if you have Stars, or you can get a free trial to Stars. It is available on Stars.
Fuck, I might have to rent this.
Well,
what did he say? Like, what led him to picking this one? Because I forgot this existed like entirely.
He has not. So, Bobby, please let us know in the comments below so we can talk about it.
10% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's
that's
rough.
wicked, man. That's
rough.
That's rough.
Man.
Yeah. Bummed we didn't get into the cast and stuff because I wanted to ask you who the fuck Ethan Slater reminds me of. Because
Who's Ethan Slater? Which person does he play?
Bokwa?
That dude.
He looks like somebody, and I thought it was somebody until I looked at his IMDb and I was like, I don't fucking know this guy. But I swear to God, the whole movie, I'm like, he's like Tom Holland mashed together with someone. He's like Tom Holland mashed together with the guy from the Hunger Games or something. He's
recently like basically just started getting into movies because he was doing Broadway stuff. So I'm pretty sure it's nothing you've seen him in. It's just he's reminding. But as far as who he's reminding you of, I cannot say.
What's the guy that played PETA in Hunger Games? It's like him and Tom Holland were thrown into a super collider, and he came out.
Oh, Josh Hutcherson?
Yeah, it's like him and Tom Holland were smashed together.
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot Josh Hutcherson existed as well.
I think Josh Hutcherson forgot that Josh Hutcherson exists. I think he finds out every morning when he looks in the mirror.
He is like what you get out of an AI chatbot if you just typed in milk toast. you get a Josh Hutcherson. Although those movies are not his fault, The Hunger Games has some of the worst primary characters I've ever seen in a thing.
Oh yeah,
just everyone who's a supporting character, really interesting, really cool. Everyone who's a main character,
awful.
Fucking terrible.
Yep,
fucking
including
just
J-Law.
Absolute worst.
That launched J-Law to the top. Those movies, and I don't get it.
People fucking loved those books, and this.
We're getting a new one.
Man.
We're getting a new trilogy. I guess there's.
Was that the new prequel trilogy thing they were doing?
No, this is the new one.
There's a new trilogy.
Yeah,
this
is based on the third trilogy.
There's a third. She's got to be stopped.
I didn't know there was a second trilogy, but apparently this is based.
I knew there was like a prequel thing based on the Donald Sutherland guy. That's all I know about it, though.
Yes, there's that, and then this one is based on Haymitch, which is God, I am so tired. Woody Harrelson's character. It's about the time he got chosen for the Hunger Games, because remember he was a veteran of the Hunger Games.
So it's like they fucking realized like, oh, I can make supporting characters that are interesting. So if I just
But-
use the supporting characters as the main character, I'll have an interesting
But
protagonist.
it's not going to be Woody Harrelson, and because he's the one that made that character, and now that the supporting character is the main character, they're going to be equally terrible because they can't do main characters.
Man. Yeah.
Everything that was
fucking
great
goddamn-
about that character is going to be gone. So
When do we get the Stanley Tucci trilogy? Because I'll tune in for
dude,
that.
I would read that book if we got the Stanley Tucci prequel.
Because I like Stanley Tucci's character.
Oh my god,
quite a bit.
And then the follow-up has to be Stephen Colbert's rise as that character.
No, Stephen Colbert is the prequel trilogy for that sequel trilogy
No.
starring Stanley Tucci's character. That's a prequel trilogy for him.
What I want, they wouldn't make this a movie. Just give me like an hour-long YouTube video. I want Stephen Colbert and Stanley Tucci together both doing that character. I want them doing like election coverage or something as those characters.
I'd watch that.
Them as that character, not characters. Yeah. Holmes and Watson, go watch it or don't, I guess.
Holmes and Watson. I'm gonna be honest. This was not what I was expecting. I was expecting it's gonna be horrible because I can just tell from looking at it.
He sent me that text. What was it? I got it. Holmes and Watson or something. Yeah, I have chosen Holmes and Watson, and I was like, "The fuck is Holmes and Watson?"
I when you said it, I was like, "What?"
Yeah. So I went and Googled it, and the very first thing I see is that IMDb poster they have for it, and I immediately texted him like, "You son of a bitch!" Like, I guarantee you he picked this from me because he knows how I feel.
Yeah, and I actually like Will Ferrell for the most part. I totally understand.
I like him as a dude.
What is
everything I've heard about him? He's charming as fuck. He seems like a genuinely good dude, and he does like charity stuff and everything too. And he seems to be on the right side of a lot of issues. I like Will Ferrell, the person. I cannot. He discovered Ron Burgundy and kept doing variations of that character afterwards because it paid.
Yeah, in his defense.
Oh no.
You get a steady gig doing that role and getting millions and millions over the course of 15 years. What would you do, Ron? You do the same thing. Like I can't fault him for that too much because like shit, it worked. Like he got how many fucking franchises over that time and made bank.
You know, if I'm gonna be on a movie review podcast, I gotta be a critic. And
yeah, but like
I don't know. I can't.
He's made a lot of bad movies. I'm not like what was that fucking. He's made so many bad movies, or like towards the latter half of his run. Like I lose track of which ones were which.
I had to get off at Talladega Nights, but like I was like, yeah, this movie has some moments, but I'm tired. I'm just exhausted. I
love Talladega Nights so much. That was
he
before I got
cranking
sick
them
of this
out
stuff.
like one a year or something. So
you remember Michael Clark Duncan in Talladega Nights? That was really funny.
No, I don't. I love that man, and I miss him every day.
I think you'd actually like Talladega Nights if you watched it again.
No, I said, it has moments, but
yeah.
By the end of it, I was just like, okay, I get it. It's the same movie over and over again, and it was only funny the one time. Anchorman,
am more on
me and my trainer could not agree on Will Ferrell, but we did start looking up YouTube videos from Anchorman and just laughing our asses off all day the other day just because Anchorman is so good. But
yeah,
she fucking loves anything Will Ferrell does, and I'm just like, I can't watch too much of that style comedy. And I keep hearing how good Step Brothers is, and I'm just like, no, thank you.
Step Brothers is really good.
No,
it's fucking it's fucking dumb, but it's really good.
And then what was it? The Other Guys. Ugh,
I forgot that existed. Fuck, like I've deleted. Like I just kind of like merged all these together into one property in my brain.
So for the record, I've never seen Step Brothers, and I refuse because.
Until someone picks it now that you said that.
No, I don't think I would watch it. But I refuse because my brain associates it with its audience, and it had the same audience as Napoleon Dynamite and what the Minecraft movie currently has. where they're destroying the theater and they're ruining the
That's
screens
so
and
insane.
tearing the seats apart and throwing it's not chick nugs now, but they were throwing chicken nuggets at the screen in Napoleon Dynamite. And having worked at a movie theater, having to deal with Napoleon Dynamite and fucking Step Brothers, I can't. It brings back PTSD. I can't.
Yeah.
So yeah,
man.
I don't know, I'm not a big comedy guy anyway. I like movies that have comedies in them. I don't like just comedies because they're not comedies anymore. You know, give me my Hot Shots. Give me my Airplane. Give me my Naked Gun.
Yeah, I can imagine the difficulty in trying to write just a standard comedy now. Like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Have you watched the trailer for that Liam Neeson Naked Gun?
Yes.
What did you think of the trailer? I haven't watched it.
I'm very torn on it. I could see it going either way. I could see it being really good or being fucking terrible. So I really don't know what to say.
A lot of podcasters I listened to that could not be more against that movie happening watched the trailer and now they're sold.
It looked better than I imagined it would.
They're not sold as in this is going to be great. They're sold as in, okay, yeah, I'll buy a ticket to that.
It could be good. Yeah. I like the ending joke in the trailer a lot. Liam Neeson is an interesting choice for it in its own right. Like that alone kind of makes it intriguing to watch just because that's so out of character for him.
Yeah.
But
he can be funny though. Remember him in A Million Ways to Die in the West? Like,
I haven't seen that.
What?
So I haven't. Dude. I haven't seen his. I've seen clips from it, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
Oh, you take your hat off, boy. That's a $5 bill. Yeah, dude. You need to see A Million Ways to Die in the West. That movie is so good.
That was the McFarlane one, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to watch it. I just never got around to it.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, if you want to follow the show for updates, we're on Twitter at SBR Filmcast. Any ratings or
sounds
reviews?
So deflated.
I'm really bummed that y'all hated this movie so much because I like this a lot.
It'll be okay, Jeff.
It's to compare it to Another Time is fighting words. Like that's crazy talk.
I think Another Time is far more sound of a movie than
that alone shows just your absolute hatred for it.
Yeah,
and it makes me sad.
That's what I'm telling you.
Because Another Time isn't a fucking movie outside of Cal. Cal's a homie. Everything else, not an actual movie.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I still think it was more sound.
Crazy. Any ratings or reviews on whichever platform you found us on always helps us out. If you found us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe for additional content. We've got one more round of Friends and Family Month coming up with Bobby's selection. Not looking forward to paying $3.99 to rent a fucking Holmes and Watson.
Oh God, what have you done?
So that's gonna be fun. I heard from Soapy Bobby had in like another option that he was A/B testing for his selection. I'm curious now what the other thing is.
Yeah, let us know since you've already fucking killed us with this one.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Dude, just this image alone makes me want to slap Will Ferrell of him standing there dressed as Sherlock Holmes with the pipe in his mouth and the facial expression he's doing. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
And it's going to be like every other movie he's done.
I forget which part of the sign-off I was on now because you got me thinking about fucking Will Ferrell movies. Oh, yeah, share us out to your friends. Maybe not this one. One of the other ones.
Dude, did you remember that Vince Vaughn is one of the competing anchormen at the other radio station?
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, I love Vince Vaughn in that.
Oh my God, Vince Vaughn is so good. I forgot that Ben Stiller shows up in a very racist role now because he's on the Hispanic channel.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he shows up with this really bad Mexican accent.
I have not seen that in 20 fucking years, so it's a miracle. I remember the one thing I remember is like Brick killed a guy.
We watched that whole thing, and then what was the other one that it surprised? It was Tim Robbins was the other one. It was Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller, and Tim Robbins that all show up. And I was like, the other's track. I don't know why Tim Robbins is here. I
Who the fuck
forgot that
knows?
Paul Rudd was at the radio station also. Well, not the radio station, TV station. But yeah, I have a feeling I'm just gonna be talking about Anchorman the whole time and Roxbury because those are the movies I like.
Yeah.
Roxbury is so good.
Oh yeah, I love Night at the Roxbury.
So good.
So much.
I know your tricks.
Did you grab my ass?
We both went to that guy.
I'm standing on the other side of the room. I physically could not have done that.
I know your tricks, Dewey. There was that, and then I kind of want to go now that we've been talking about it. The two things that were my favorite things Saturday Night Live ever did with that skit is they picked up Jim Carrey in one of them, and I swear to God,
the gifts alone that result from the Jim Carrey clips are gold.
He is doing the head bob so much better than even they are, and they do it for a living.
It's like he created the joke. He's so good at it.
Yeah, he didn't, but it's like he did. And then one of the best ones they ever did. So believe it or not, as little personality as he has, and as much of a dick as he is, Sylvester Stallone hosting Saturday Night Live was actually really good that whole episode years ago. And they did a Roxbury skit where Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan, they're driving around, they're doing the head bob thing to the music, and then they come upon Rocky jogging. He's fucking Rocky. He's not Sylvester Stallone. He's fucking Rocky from the Rocky movies. And they pick him up and start taking him out to the club, and they have like a training montage of teaching him how to do the dance and everything to get him ready to go clubbing and stuff. And then they get him in the club. Like, it's so funny. Fucking Night at the Roxbury meets Rocky.
Yeah, I gotta watch those clips again because everything that
you're so down
is
episode.
great.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Can't wait to watch the UK version of SNL, but anyway. You've heard about that, right?
Holmes and what? I believe so.
Yeah, it only took him 50 years to come up with the idea.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
Anyway.
Man. Yeah, so we got one more bit of Friends and Family Month, and then I'm curious next year for Bobby, since will he continue altering between good shit and bad shit, or will he just pick the other thing that he was being too torturous with? So we'll see.
For all we know, this was in his mind a good pick. But all I know is when I texted him immediately, "You son of a bitch," he texted back, "I am driving and laughing my ass off." Perfect response. So I think he laser targeted me for this.
Yeah, I can see that. I respect it. Because he laser targeted both of us with fucking Tammy and the T-Rex.
No, he laser targeted you. He knew I would love it.
I mean, you love asterisk it because, like, good God, we talked about all the stupid shit in that.
The stupid shit in that movie is what makes it so good.
No, not the stupid shit is funny. The horribly offensive and creepy stuff is what's not okay.
Testicular standoff, though, Jeff.
No, that's wholesome. That's wholesome family content right there, compared to what other nonsense is in that fucking movie.
You don't like upskirting 16-year-olds?
I don't. I really don't.
I don't go to the park anymore. Reasons.
I have a restraining order. It's a whole thing. Oh my God. What am I doing to all of my algorithms on Apple and shit when I have to go rent Holmes and Watson? Now I'm just fucking scarred for life.
Maybe go into incognito mode on YouTube and rent it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't want goddamn Will Ferrell recommendations for all the nonsense he's been making for the last 10 years. Please, no. Fucking Bobby.
Based on your search results, it's just Will Ferrell across the board.
I'm gonna get promoted like Elf every single day.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Fucking Bobby. I respect it though. It's gonna be fucking miserable, so I respect it. I like I said before though, I've seen Battlefield Earth. There's only so much damage you can do to me that hasn't already been done to me. So, yeah. That's like that's the fucking straw that broke the camel's back is Battlefield Earth. So I just like bring it on, man. I don't give a fuck. I'll watch anything. Fuck it.
Trump wants to go see if the gold is at Fort Knox. It's like, I've seen Battlefield Earth. I know it's there. We got to give it to John Travolta.
We can let Trump hop into that plane flying simulator, and then he can fly planes, man. He can go into battle.
Jesus Christ.
The movie is so fucking stupid.
Is that the world he ends up in another time? Is that the timeline that ends up the Battlefield Earth timeline? Because don't they use that same filter? Isn't everything blue? Or was that my TV?
It was your TV. That would be so much more of an interesting movie, though, if that happened.
If that's the timeline that eventually becomes Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Sepia.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ. Have a good night, everybody. I'm into this fucking shit before Bobby picks another Will Ferrell movie. I'm out. Bye.